With all the wind, I wonder. Let's turn the fan off. And I'm coughing. Gotta love the coughing.
ASCII Entertainment.
Asshole Entertainment. Gotta love the coughing. Okay, well, let's see. Oops. Oh, yeah. Of course you're back there, shouldn't you? Die, bitch. Oh, you nasty motherfucker. Give me my crap. Do-do-do-do-do. Give me my crap. Do-do-do-do. Wow. Ow. And down. I'm playing too much Wii. Okay, got our first level up. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh man, you're so mean. You like that? Thank you, sir. La, 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 la. Shut up, bitch. My dog is a bitch. Really? Seriously? Wow. Asshole guy. Ugh. Oh! Get in, please. Thank you. And a miss. And a miss. crystal. Give me my flask. Bullshit. How even hit me? Here's some water. Okay, let's go get a piece of armor. No, don't touch me. Don't want Ace to die this early. Wow, listen to that wind coming up. Holy shit. That's gonna take some roof shingles off, I think. There's something going crazy upstairs. My wife closed the window. Enough, run away. Well, in the United States it is KF1, yes, but it is actually Kingsfield 2. Don't know if you can hear my mic. I got a tornado coming up outside and it's kind of loud. So yeah, this is actually Kingsfield 2. They just not released Kingsfield 1 in this country, so assuming you're from the United States, it is. Or Europe. So there's another one. Alright, and we got enough levels now to continue on. It's kind of not speed running for any kind of record, but yeah, I'm just getting some practice. I'm going to attempt to do a speed run soon enough. My best time is about an hour and 42 minutes. I think the world record's like an hour and 15, so got quite a ways to go to even be in any kind of running with that guy, but you know, all things considered, not too bad. It's not like I've been doing this time and time again or anything. But I use this little exploit. His head is worth a lot of XP at the beginning of the game. And I screwed that up. It's okay, though. It's okay. That's what save states are for. Okay, we'll try that again. So how are you today? Ancient City. Ooh, I'm going down. What am I thinking? I'm not paying attention. Kingsfield Ancient City. That would be a fun one, but man, oh man, that's a tough game. I think this one's a lot easier to speedrun myself. If I start paying attention when I'm doing it, might help. Okay, there we go. And I screwed it up again. Wow. Okay. Something tells me I need to quit doing this for the day. I don't know what a speedrun is on that game, but it's a long game. So I imagine quite a few hours. Oh, fuck my life now. Okay. I'll pay attention. Do you know what the current world record is for Ancient City? By chance? I assume you can hear me since you are responding to what I'm saying. Oh, Kraken, you're such a biatch. Let's get some hit points. Yeah, I don't know if there is one. I mean, it's a long game. I can't think of any real shortcuts you can take in it either. I mean, you know, the bosses aren't exploitable like they are in this game, where you can just keep jamming a basic attack and stunning them. So you'd have to be really, really good to get through that, and I just don't. I don't know what shortcuts you would take. I would imagine a decent time might be 5 or 6 hours. I'd be surprised you'd get it too much lower than 3 hours. Maybe 4. Excuse me, I got some allergies today. Boss fight meaning the last boss? That Shiblob that's hanging on the wall? I mean, you could just go for the crappy ending if you're going to go for the best time. I don't even think you need to fight the real last boss. I'm just kind of trying to pay attention right now. Yeah, that boss, the last boss you're talking about. Yeah, isn't there an ending where if you don't complete whatever it is, your task of getting that idol back to where it needs to be, you can finish it early, I think, and not fight that boss? But I can't even remember. It's been too long. I played through it not too long ago, on stream actually. I don't think I saved it to YouTube or anything though. Ow. Yeah, my buttons, I'm too used to playing the Switch. Cancel and select buttons are totally backwards for me right now. I'm gonna have to use it. It's alright. Early game Dragon Crystal is not a big deal. Ugh. Shit, I'm stuck. There we go. Could just die, you know, that'd be real nice. That would be helpful, sir, ma'am, whatever you are. Ma'am, probably. Mama Kraken. What's up, Six? How you doing? Just getting some Kingsfield practice in. I'm thinking about doing speed running on this game. I'm not sure yet, though. The guy who's got the record is, the record's ridiculous. It's like an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes or something like that. Something insane. I don't know how he did it, to be honest. So, my best time is in like the hour 42 minute range. But I'd have to make some splits and see where each part goes and all that other stuff. So, oh, come on with that. Thank you. Oh, the mosquito's gonna come kill me. Sure thing. I watched the first 20 minutes of it. After I saw how he was playing it, I decided that I wasn't going to watch the rest of it. I mean, nothing against what he's playing, but the way he plays it is crazy. I'll never be able to play it like he does. I can't do a lot of the menu timing and crap like he does. I'm just going to have to rely on skill and the ability to get through the game at a lower level than he does. Yeah, there is a short sword over here. There's a couple different items. We'll go get the rest of the crap that's around here now. So there's a crystal piece up here. Oh, you son of a bitch! What the hell? Did you see that? I've never seen that. That was some bullshit. All right, whatever. We'll use another herb. Not a big deal. The short sword up here. It's fine. But at the beginning of the game, when your strength is very, very low, I prefer to kill the Kraken with the dagger just because I can swing it faster. The refresh time is fast enough that I can keep up with him not killing me. So we got 8 levels from killing that guy several times. That's good. And let's get the skeleton, grab the knight sword that's in here. Okay, where are you? I think I remember where you're sitting. I need to make this full screen so I can see it. Where the hell is it? I better take care of this guy before he pops me in the ass. Shouldn't there be 2 of you guys in here? Aha, there's your friend. Oh, and you're stronger ones, aren't you? Yes you are. My dog's about to bark into the mic. The tornadic winds that we're getting are spooking them. So if you hear some bellowing, it's my beagles. Just ignore them. Die in a minute there, guy. Thanks. Alright, now about that sword. It should be right around there. It is. I couldn't find it. Okay, let's see what he said. Oh, this game, I've probably gone through this game truthfully from start to finish. I'm not even kidding, 100 times. I know pretty much, I'm gonna guess every single thing there is about this game. I mean, I've ripped the models from it. I've reused it for my own game and everything else. So there's not much that surprises me in any Kingsfield game anymore, except for 4. For the longest time I was turned off of 4. I don't know why. I guess it was because it didn't follow the storyline of the other 3. So I kind of resented it for that, I guess. Until I played it much, much later. Now I like it a lot. You know, a long time ago I didn't care for it. So I went through it the first time when I bought it. Oh, and in addition to that, Kingsfield 4 also, if you don't find or don't know about an item called Clarity Bracelet, the game is pretty much very, very lame. There's an item you get basically the first area, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you've played the game, called the Clarity. Oh wow! Oh shit! Yeah, these guys are hard. I forgot about that. Called the Clarity Bracelet that like reduces the cost. I'm going down. I'm going to die right here. I have to come back. I need more mana for this. I'll get the key later. Usually my strategy here, and I'm playing very poorly today, is to go get the shrine key and stuff that's back there to open up the dragon fountain early. Is that what it is? 100 more magic? Yeah, something. I couldn't remember what it did. I didn't get it my first playthrough. I like magic. You know, in Kingsfield games, the fact that your character can be a good swordsman and a good magician is really cool. And so basically, my first playthrough, I was a gimp on magic because I didn't have any magic points. So I'd run around, you know, I could cast 2 or 3 times, and then that was it. I really didn't enjoy my first playthrough. And then, you know, let my brother play it. And he was like level 2, and he found this clarity brace. I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, okay, so that's what you need basically to, you know, enjoy magic in this game. So, yeah, that was a bummer for me. And I know I'm alone on this, but I'm not a huge fan of most of the soundtrack in Kingsfield 4. Some of it is really, really good. Oh shit, there's 3 of you in here? I thought there was only 2. What the hell? I don't know. Compared to this game, we'll call it 1 in Kingsfield 2 US, I just found the soundtrack to be kind of lacking, a little bit dingy and kind of, I don't know, disappointing to me, I guess. We'll do a save state, since I'm not going to bother with saving right now. There's nothing I want down here. I'll skip this. Let's just continue on. I really need that damn... I'm trying to go where I can get a moonstone off early. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. This run would be a complete reset at this point anyway. It's done so poorly, it's pathetic. I think this guy might actually drop a moonstone. Or no, this is a crystal shard. I'll take it back. God, I hate trying to hit these things. The hitbox is so screwy. I think it is time to switch out swords, though. Let's go with the short sword. I think we're strong enough to kind of maneuver that one. Yeah, that one's recharging just fine. It depends. Like, to answer your question, 6, it depends on how you like playing the game. If you're not a magic freak like me, then you know you don't need magic to enjoy the game. But I do. For me personally, all right, here we go. Now we've got some magic points. That'll work. From my personal opinion, without magic, any Kingsfield game sucks. But that's just for me. I'm playing okay. I'm not playing well for myself. I should already be to the Dragon Fountain by now. And halfway through the Citadel. I mean, I'm doing quite terribly, actually. That's okay. I'm just trying to get some practice in. It's all good. And I missed. Try to get this guy to bombard him for me. No, you're supposed to... Oh, shit. You're supposed to... Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. So much for being speedy. I think I'll just play through normally now. I apparently don't have it in me today. So let's stop trying to rush and just play it. But yeah, back to Kingsfield 4. Without that bracelet, you literally have like, I don't know, a maximum of like 30 mana for most of the game. And there are some spells that will take like 25 to cast, so it's yeah. It sucks pretty hardcore until you're like level 15 to 20 to do anything in that game. I should play it on here, but Kingsfield 4 and emulators don't get along well. I tried to play through about 6 months ago, and it doesn't work. At least mine didn't. You get so far, and then there's a bug where the emulator just doesn't load the area. So I ended up restarting the playthrough on my PS2. I just hooked it up to my computer and played through on that. and that was fine. I mean, I don't mind playing it the real way. I don't use any cheat codes or anything. Save states are nice when you're not in the mood to run back to the save slot, but they're not necessary either. So, alright, let's get what's in here. A couple skeletons, so I gotta be a little careful. Oh, I should have got the Morning Star before I came over here. Oh well. You cheap little bastard. Man, my timing is horrible today. Dreadful indeed. Well, yes, it does make the game easier. I don't think it was, in my opinion, a necessary step for them to make. The game's not, you know, hard or easy either way. It's just, you know, it's not Dark Souls or something. Oh shit. God, fuck me today, man. I mean, really? Jeez. Oh, wow. You're witnessing some severe suckage. I have a blue potion. Why am I not using this? What the hell's wrong with me? Okay, anyway. One more attempt here. If I lose this again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll turn something else on for your amusement. I obviously can't play Kingsfield today for a shit. In a mess. There we go. Thank you. It doesn't make any sense the Night Sword doesn't kill that any faster than 3 hits. A piece of junk. Although it doesn't seem too slow to recharge, so that's not bad. Okay, let's grab our Dragon Crystal again. It does. I mean, it does, yeah. I usually don't bother with the mic because I hate listening to my own voice, but today I felt like having it on. Just because, you know, I figured I was playing a game that was easy enough, it wouldn't bother me playing it. Apparently that's not the case. That's the other thing, that guy that got an hour and 10 or whatever, I think he did it live. So, you know, he didn't seem to have any problem talking to people. Kind of stuff's crazy. You ever watch Arcus87? He does a lot of Ninja Gaiden and Zelda 2 and stuff like that. I watch that Nintendo games. Guy is a freak of nature, man. He concentrates, no problem. I am playing, and you can hear me. How you doing, Blind Man? I'm doing very poorly. Doing very poorly at both. I just use a mic that's on my laptop. Oh, you bastard! You cheap fucking. I just use a mic that's attached to the laptop because I don't have the effort to get out of the headset. So it probably sounds like crap. It probably picks up everything in the background. But whatever. Yeah, why not? I'm sick of the red shit on the screen. Ooh, that's cold. We got air coming in the front window. We've got a little bit of water mist in it. Getting some interesting weather out here in Ohio right now. Oh yeah, the guy's a weirdo. I think he's got. I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything, but I would assume someone who's able to do what Arcus does, which is entirely the same thing over and over again every day, has got some form of autism. Would be my guess. I'd be very much surprised if he didn't have something like that. You know, I mean, the guy is OCD the word? OCD? Where he does the exact same thing every day. Wakes up at the same time. Eats the same lunch. You know, he's having Subway sandwich and like lentil soup and lemon water every day. You know, he does the exact same routine. Plays video game, the same game all day long, every day. It's just, I don't know how anybody can do that. I'd be bored out of my mind. He never gets pissed off. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does get irritated, but he never really shows it. He's always very polite to everybody. It's crazy. I couldn't do it for a second. I'd be telling people to go. Well, although everyone in this stream seems pretty reasonable, I'd be telling people to piss off and everything else. We don't need to be here. Let's leave. Okay, we got what we needed from this area for now. I'm not going to attempt. Well, yeah, well, I'm an asshole. Why not? I am going to save state though. Just because I've been playing so badly that I think it's probably entirely warranted that I do so. Give me that dragon crystal. Alright, 70 MP. Like what, level 10? If that's not enough to kill these, then I need to retire. Because these aren't that hard. I think they're about level 16, level 15, 16 enemies. This should not be impossible at this juncture. And a miss. Nice start. You farker. Checkers, you gotta go. Ow! Ugh. What was I saying about retiring? Yeah, I should do that. No, I mean, hey, look, the guy makes a living off of it. So, you know, he probably makes as much money sitting there playing Ninja Gaiden every single day than I do trying to attempt what we call a real job. So, you know, more power to the guy. Good for him. Fuck, man. Why is this stuff hitting me so hard? Do I not have something equipped? Man, oh man. I give up. I'll come back. I apparently am just not up to this today. Pathetic. I'll move on. Come back in a couple levels. Maybe I'll go get an Earth Heal or something. Kill a couple of these guys, get a level. On over, pal. No. See, he didn't hit me for jack crap. Like 8 or 9. The dude with the magic is kicking my ass, though. Jeez. Okay, let's continue on. I'm just gonna go get the Earth Crystal down here. And the, what is it, Stargate? What else is down here? The Star Key, sorry. It was one of the two. Okay, now we've got Earth Heal. Horizon Zero Dawn, awesome. We need to stream that shit. I want to watch. I must watch. I need more blind man stream in my life. Oh, poor little thing. I just felt bad for those. I think the sounds in this game are so much better than the rest of the series. When you hit stuff, everything's very echoey, very surrounding. Oh, almost got nailed by ourselves some magic. Oops. Gonna need to do that. Oh, did you? I saw the thing saying you were doing a test, but I saw it 4 o'clock. So I figured it was going to be one of those where you jumped on to test your stream and jumped off before I could say hello. So I did not bother coming to look. I assumed wrongly. Get a crystal from this guy. Sorry, buddy. Steal your shit. Okay. You know, I have a couple issues with Horizon. Not many. Nothing big. Again, I didn't play it. I watched my brother play it. Probably 4 different occasions through different parts of the game. Complaint number 1. Some of the, and this is really minor. The only reason I bring it up is because, you know, the studio who made it, it's kind of inexcusable. When some of the voice acting, like the facial expressions on some of the characters are just god awful, and I don't understand that. And I get a phone call. 1 second, please. Hello. Hi, Dave. How you doing? I'm doing okay. What'd you guys find out? Oh yeah, yeah. I figured. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's okay. I can hear you just fine. Okay. The rear right one. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll probably take it to Firestone anyway. I have Road Hazard on it, and I'll just have them replace the tire, so it's not a big deal. Okay. That's fine. Sure. Okay. And you think you'll have that by tomorrow, you said? Oh, okay, great. Perfect. That's okay. I'm in no rush. Sure, that's no problem. Whenever. It's fine. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. And that is the garage. Fixing my Jeep, which is in horrendous shape from the winter. So, what was I doing? Guy wouldn't even give me the price over the phone. He's going to go back and see what he can do to save me money. I was like, yeah, okay. I know it's bad. Just tell me. Do I sound like I really care? Yeah. My time is more valuable than wasting worrying about you saving me $5. I just can't get that excited about it anymore. Everything costs too much, so, you know. what's one other thing in my life it's going to cost too much. I'm used to it. Okay. Just had enough of caring anymore. Let's get out of here. Where's the wall at? Get me out of here. There we are. Thank you. Okay. Skip all this garbage. Grab the herb. Why not? Do-do-do. See ya. I don't mess with the ghosts in speedrunning. They're too annoying. They never drop anything, so there's no need to mess around with them. Go get this helmet, though. Secret helmet just sitting nowhere. It's not even on there. So you just click on the floor, and there he is. Nice helmet, though. Very good find. I did not know it was there. Okay. Let's continue on. Now we've got Earth Heal. I'm going to grab one other item so I have a little bit more defense. And then we're going to go back to that nightmare. See ya. Okay. Skip you. Meow. These guys are pretty hard to skip. Pretty fast at honing in on you. And there's quite a few of them. No, really? Come on. Really? Of course, if you can't hit them, it makes it 10 times harder. And they have a huge reach, as you can see, whereas I do not. So I generally try to clear them out of my way. Let's get this item here. Thank you. Okay. Now we're all set. Now, just for if there's anybody actually watching anymore, just for your knowledge, every single slot can be found for free, except for the arms. You can't actually find anywhere in the game the first set of arms, like the weakest piece. You actually have to buy that. Everything else, all the non-magical items, you can find throughout the game. But arms is one you can't. The first set of arms you can get are the silver arms. So the iron arms are not something you can find in the game. So I think it's an oversight by the programmers. The reason I say that is you can find 2 pairs of the iron boots, but nada on the arms. So I think it was an error on their part when they dispersed the items of the game. That they gave you 2 of one and 0 of the other. That's just my opinion and my guess. Just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. It's the only slot you can't get early game, but you can get 2. 2 of the leg guards. So my guess is likely oversight there. Okay, let's try this again. Save state. Can you sit still for a second? Thank you. Nice, you can hit me through him. That seems cheap. Really cheap. Oh my effing god, cheap. Welcome back, Blind Man. You get to watch me get my ass kicked again. I might just skip these. They're really not cooperating for me today for some reason. Oh, I'm going down. Hardcore. It's just so laggy in here. Oh my god. Holy, good boy. close to dead. One of you able to do it. Then reset a little bit. Holy Moses. Just way too many hit points on these guys. Finally. God, you're being a pain in the ass. Ow. So hard to hit these guys. So obnoxious. Really? You're stronger than Mama Crack, in heaven's sake. Cheers. Okay. Finally. 10 million save state reloads later. I'm not going to be breaking any world records here today, kids. Let me tell you. This is just a regular one, I think. Yeah, it's a lot weird. So, you know, it's just kind of built for a speed run. It lets you get to the easy one if you want to run past everything. And grab that shrine key. So, okay. Now let's get out of here. Oh. Yeah, back to my complaint list. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I got a phone call. Yeah, back to my complaint list about Horizon. That is one of them. Oh, F's sake. Fuck. Hold on. Hello? Hi, David. Okay. No problem. Sure. Okay. Sure. Okay. I'll have a check for you. Sounds good, David. Thank you for the help. Well, bye-bye. And $1,000 down the toilet. All right. Whatever. Add it to my life because it's fun. Complaints. Yes, skills are a little lackluster. A little bit lackluster. I think the game needed a few more enemies. I think there's maybe 10 to 12 different types of enemies. So, you know, kind of a repetitive thing in that way. Oh yeah, the facial thing. I already talked about that. The facial thing is just kind of quirky, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so let me think here. Oh yeah. Try to remember what we're doing. Yeah, they do, but you know, I've been putting it off a long time, so it's... I knew it needed a full thing of brakes, like front to back, brand new, everything. And, why did I go this way? What? My brain. Okay, let's try that again. We do not want to go this way. We want to go across the bridge. Okay. There's no need to go that way. There's nothing useful that direction. Okay, so basically, the next step is to go up here and get some rhombus keys. Why am I not thinking properly? But I think Horizon is a decent game. I'd pay full price for it if I hadn't watched my brother play through it. I mean, it's a good game. It's there's a lot of hours of playtime there. I think it's got good quality to it. I think it'll. I would enjoy it. I think the overall theme is good. Come on with this missing. This sword seems like it should have a bigger hit radius than it does. Very obnoxious. Okay, so there are some. I think there's a secret wall hole right here. There. Useless shard in there. Skip that room, it's worthless. Let's come on over here, skip that. And you want to go to the far hole and drop down. So this is part of the shortcut getting through the game. And from here, you'll be able to get, well, to the Dragon Fountain, which is to the right. But you'll also get an early Rhombus key, which is nice. And you can actually go in the back way to the jail, so you can kind of open up a back door there and get some things done really early. God, these enemies are obnoxious. Okay. You did. So yeah, back here, I'm sure you already all know about this, but you can come back in here and get some stuff. So, and he's pretty much amazing, so I can't avoid him. I actually think the Night Sword is pretty lackluster for how long it takes to recoup. It's not very strong. So in general, you're going to want to go this way with your key you just found, if you were speed running. Or, I mean, I always go this way anyway. And then come in here, grab another key, watch out for the dude. Yeah, the important thing with any run of this game is how early you can unlock the pink part of the Dragon Fountain. That's basically the most important thing to start off with, because that gives you your mana back. So you can make flasks that hold mana rejuvenation. These guys don't hit for anything. Look at that, 4. They comboed me, they're pretty good. But in general, they aren't that dangerous at this point because you have so much armor. Okay, so let's go in here. We're going to get the jail key. And with the jail key, we are going to rescue someone. And get the first piece of the puzzle. You son of a bitch. Oh, wow, that guy was a hero. That's what you call the hero version. And then there's a secret here that you should all get. There's a light crystal. First one doesn't really do you much good, but we'll use it anyway. I like, in speedruns I would sell this, because it's worth a lot of money. But for now, we'll go ahead and use it. Okay, so now with the jail key and the additional Rhombus key, I'm going to go back in here. And we are going to, is it this direction? Save our friend here. Alright, buddy, come on up. So this guy here is like the captain of the guard. He doesn't really look very captainly. He's calling me by my name as if it's in the third person, kind of English going on here, which I don't quite understand because it was translated by English people. But Alexander is who you are. I really think he should be saying, I can't imagine why you came to this island. King Alfred's soldiers have almost been wiped out, and I can't do anything. I have a stone that an elf gave me. The king, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This, right here. This is the important part. Alright, I'll leave him be. You will find him later. Then you will find him a third time dead. Poor guy. Kind of sad, but anyhow, he gives me something extremely important. And at this point, other than keys and a few things you have to grab still, meaning there's only really 2 more things you have to do to beat the game. You have to go to the termite's nest to get the pirate's key, with the Pirate's Key, you can then get the final Shrine Key, which you need to unlock to get into Cease area to grab. Oops, wrong thing. Grab the item needed to get to the arena. So, I mean, that's more or less all you need to do to finish the game. So, it's actually pretty quick. I'm going to use this. I prefer to fill it with pink water or red water or whatever it is. Now, in addition to this, I should probably go to Central Village and start exchanging my crystals for flasks. That would be a wise decision to do if, you weren't reckless. So, that would probably be the next thing on any normal gamer's list, is to start getting flasks and refilling them. And then also placing a gate key near here, because this will become the kind of the basis of your operation for a little while. Yeah, it is interesting. He looks like a train engineer. That's exactly right. It looks like something off of a PBS show for kids, like the quintessential train engineer. So I agree 100%. It looks totally strange. This guy's gonna drop a dagger. That's what I needed at this point in the game. But like I said before, every item in the game can be found, except for the iron gloves. Kind of an odd thing. Okay, let's kill this guy. I think he might drop a shield. I don't even remember. Maybe he doesn't drop anything. I could be thinking about my game on this. I think I am. See, that happens a lot when I play this game now, unfortunately. Is, why aren't they coming out? There they are. Because I oftentimes think of Kingsfield Dark Destiny instead. I'm going to do the same thing you did on your stream, Blind Man, which is go in here while the key is still in there. So it's kind of like a... Here's the thing. I don't have the star key in place, so I'm not going to get a free key out of this. But at least I didn't have to open it up from the outside with a key that I don't have. There are traps in this room, so make sure you stay on the right side. I think there's either a trap here or no, it's in the next room. Yeah, there's a wall trap here. It will more than likely one-shot me. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So if you start searching the room like an idiot, where is it now? Must be in the other room. Two nice finds in there. Oh, there's one of them. Yeah, that guy. That will kill you if you stand in it. So this is the only secret in here, so you don't have to go looking any further. It's right there. And I forgot to get the moon gate. That was something I also forgot. Well done, me. So let's go get that. I guess I could wait till I get the termites or the pirate key, but we'll go ahead and do it now. It's not too far back. Okay. So now we have the Stargate and the Star Key. Lucky us. Sort of an important piece. Yes, it does. I mean, this game, they all have an item similar to that, Cornhusker. In Kingsfield 2 or 3, whichever one you want to call it, there is a crown that'll do it, but it drains your life. But it will show you hidden doors. Why did I go this way? In this game, there is a rod. It's a consumable item. Doesn't last very long. That will also show you hidden doorways and so on and so forth. However, it doesn't show you everything. It does not show you things that are hidden in the floor. So there are places, like I showed earlier, I'll go ahead and put the star key here. It might come in handy here. I think I probably want it not here, but that's okay. We'll put it here for now. Yeah, there's a few times where there's just stuff in the floor. A lot of that stuff in Kingsfield 3, especially in the town right next to Bard's Forest. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that town is just chock full of little trinkets in the floor. Okay. You guys in your all-seeing eyes. It's like Sauron or something over here. Seeing through walls. I definitely get a lot more sloppy once I've got some magic I can use. No doubt. Yeah, you know, that was one of the things that made me love this game and series. It's like, you know, the first time I ever played it, I couldn't believe how complex it felt like. And they are. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to downplay it now that I know the game. But how complex the maps felt like they were. Because you could go up, down, fall into holes, you know, left. It was like the game felt as tall and deep as it did wide. So, you know, it's just very large discovery factor in these games. I think this one and Kingsfield probably 4 are the best for that. 3, I love the game, don't get me wrong, but it's a heck of a lot more linear when you look at the way it's laid out than this game is, and or Ancient City. Both of those are very, they wrap around themselves a lot. So why do I keep going up here instead of the other direction? And you'll know what I'm talking about when you look at the actual map layout for Kingsfield 3. Love the game. Not my favorite in the series, but its maps were pretty much one right after the next. Very linear game design. Not a lot of backtracking unless you wanted to. You know, you just kind of grind for a while and move forward in that game. How do I get so much magic in this game right now? That guy, I don't know if you were watching, the guy I saved in the jail, Ernest, which is the first thing I always do. That's the first thing I always do is run to that jail cell and get that. I usually do that before killing Kraken. I didn't today because I was trying the strat that the world record holder has, which is killing that Kraken to get to level 9. It does have its benefits, although I think I would probably skip that on my playthrough. When you save him, he gives you the Dragon Stone, which I then take, and I'll show you where it is. I'm heading there now. I just fell down this pit. I'm right next to it. Wrong way. It opens up this pathway. And I unlocked the first one. You have a choice. There's this pedestal here that needs one. And then the one over here also needs one. If you unlock this one, you get green water. And the green water is lame, because all it does is fix any negative status effects. So you definitely don't want to unlock that one first. You want to unlock it eventually, so you unlock the golden fountain and the secret doorways. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just fill up my flasks with that. So that's what I mean when I say I got a lot of magic now. So now I'll go to Central Village. I'll exchange a couple crystals. I've done it too many times until I remembered which one was which. So we'll go ahead and head into the island a little bit here. Should have plenty of keys without having to go buy any from Ratfink or whatever his name is. We'll come back to this and say, actually I'm going to go back real quick. I think there is a Open, please. Thank you. Another flask I can grab on right now. Again, I might be confusing this with my game. I probably am. Seems to me there's a flask in this room. Thank you for dying. Watch it be in my game. I'm thinking it probably is. Yeah, I was 14 or 15 years old the first time I played this game when it came out. So I can remember this. I remember the first Resident Evil. Oh, it's a Rhombus key. Well, either way, it's something we needed. In my game, that is a flask. Of course, it should be a different item. It's a different time period. And some arrows. Thank you, sir, for dying. And you respawn. Okay, I'll take you down. The Eternal Ring is like this. It's a to me, Eternal Ring is a beta engine for Kingsfield 4. Is what it is. I think it was their first attempt at making a PS2 game. It's an okay game, but wow, you know, if it wasn't their B team, then they really struggled programming for the PS2. Because the game itself is, I don't want to say it's shit, because it's not shit, but it's definitely a lower quality. Okay, yeah, so I can't do anything until I save that obnoxious child, so let's go ahead and get that over with. Well, should I get the bow? Nah, I'll just wing it. Watch out, termite's nest. Ah, okay. So hopefully we have enough to get through this. Thank you for dying. Sword of Moonlight is great. It's I would say Sword of Moonlight, I would be surprised if Eternal Ring isn't either a product of Sword of Moonlight or part of its beta development, because the two engines are very similar, especially the lighting, very generic. Map quality's pretty lame. You know, Sword of Moonlight can do a lot of great things if you're an extremely creative person. But man, it is what they say it is. It is a Kingsfield 1 toolmaker. It's able to replicate the first game fairly well. It could not pull off Kingsfield 2, 3, or 4. It does not have enough in the engine to be able to replicate these games, which is sad, unfortunately. You know, you don't have any projectile weapons, so you can't do a bow and arrow. It is missing the ability to track. It wasn't designed for multi-tiered maps, which is a huge, huge drawback. In other words, it's not designed to handle a map on top of a map. So like that tunnel there that's underneath me, Sword of Moonlight was not designed to have that. You can make it do that, but it doesn't play well with a lot of the things. Like, in other words, there's some bugs with it. You can be attacked from stuff that's underneath you and also do damage to things that are underneath you. You can inspect signs or chests or things like that that are underneath you or above you, which to me those are two pretty big shortcomings of it that are hard to look past, to enjoy building with the engine. It is not Windows friendly beyond like Windows 98, which is unfortunate. So you will have a lot of problems running it with DirectX compatibility issues. You know, it's just it's not user friendly as far as that goes. Deploying it is a nightmare. So if you want someone to play the game, you know, there's its own list of problems getting it to run on a modern Windows environment. So I don't recommend it to anybody that wants to make a serious game. It takes an incredible amount of work, I think, to use it properly. I mean, there are some people that were really, really damn good at it. A guy named Master Taffer or J.C. Bailey, probably the best I know, has used it to make several really good games, very good games. But I will argue it's not the engine that made the games good, it's his creativity. So, you know, the engine was just a tool that he used because he could get it. I think he could do far better things if he wouldn't limit himself to using Sword of Moonlight. So, but that's not to say it can't be used for someone just starting out. But I just don't think people should spend the amount of sincere effort on it as they have in the past. There's been a guy on there that's been making a game for years called, well, I think it's called Marathia now. It was called Wrathmore. There are other games like this. There are Sword of Moonlight games, which I'm going to tell you they're just as good, especially the ones Taffer made. They are, honest to God, every bit as good as Kingsfield ever was. I really believe that, and I love this. My favorite game, as it says at the bottom of the stream, my favorite game ever made. I will say that his games are on par with this game, and that says a lot. Another guy named Tom Eversole made a couple games. They're pretty good. And Speak of the Devil. Hello, Mr. Bailey. The Sword of Moonlight. Just go to swordofmoonlight.com. Go to games and check out the ones made by, I think I have it listed under Master Taffer. It's J.C. Bailey, the guy that just popped into chat. He has Return to Melanet. Fantastic, long game. Very, very good. It's basically a recreation of this game. Not a recreation. Recreation of this game's world. Whole new game. Excellent story. Very good. He's got Mystic Prelude on there, which is a smaller game. Not based in the Kingsfield world. I think it's his own. And he's got a couple. He's got one more other on there. Which one is it, Mr. Bailey? What's the other game called? I can't think off the top of my head. There's not Unkingly. That's your new game. And the links are there. There's a couple over there. They're made by Tom Eversole. Again, good games. Very unique games. He's got one called Trismegistus that's uses the Sword of Moonlight editor to make more of a Myst style game. So it's kind of you walk around and interact with puzzles rather than fight things, but it's really well done. There is Shadow Tower, which was released here in English. It's okay. I can't bring myself to beat it, which is sad because I like these kind of games, but the game gets on my nerves after a while. It has Air Granatiki, that's right. Another great game. Shadow Tower is made by From Software. It came out after Kingsfield 3 or 2 US, whatever you want to call it. It has no music. That bothers me. It has a system where your weapons degrade over time. I don't care for that system. I mean, Kingsfield 4 had it, but to fix it was free. It just took 5 minutes of your life to go over to the blacksmith and get it fixed. In Shadow Tower, you have to spend money or cunes or whatever it's called. The same thing you use to heal yourself and to buy new items is the same thing you use to repair stuff. It's an annoying system to me. I didn't care for it. And the game is slow. Like, you think Kingsfield is slow? It's nothing compared to Shadow Tower. It is slow. The movement is slow. It's almost pitch black the entire time. It had a sequel, which was translated. The ISO does exist on Sword of Moonlight. .com's website. If you register there, you can download it. I tried playing that now 3 times. Last time I played it with a walkthrough, I still didn't bother to get past the 3rd map. It bored me too much. So, if you liked Eternal Ring at all, I even put Eternal Ring way above Shadow Tower. At least I could beat Eternal Ring without getting bored. It's short, thankfully. But Shadow Tower is the extreme of slow pace, dark and dingy. I mean, I don't know. It might as well be in black and white. It kind of reminds me of Dark Souls 3. But enough about that game. I'm not going to pick on it too much. Give it a shot. But it's not for me. I can't help it. It's just not my kind of game. That's fine, Six. No, you don't have to talk. You can just watch. Make fun of me when I die, which I've done well, at least 20 times so far. I mean, I wanted to like Shadow Tower. I really did. Like, when I look at the... there used to be a website, kings-field.com. It had a walkthrough for Shadow Tower and Shadow Tower Abyss, the second of which I have replicated for posterity on the Sword of Moonlight website. You can find it there in case you want it. But the first game, you know, I used to look at his guide for it. I thought the enemies looked really cool. It looked like it would be really interesting to go through the game, but it's just not. I don't know how else to put it. It just didn't do it for me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on it. I don't know. Mr. Bailey, did you beat Shadow Tower Abyss or the first game? I don't know. What do you think of it? Something about it. It's just the music is part of what I hate about it. The lack of music. I'm going to go ahead and use the pirate key and get all the pirate goodies here right now. But yeah, if you like Kingsfield, definitely try out J.C. Bailey's Sword of Moonlight games. If you don't try any of the others out, try his. His are the best. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I will argue that with anyone. They're by far better than the others that are on there. Nothing against the other authors that posted their games. They're all good games. But if you want something that's similar to this game, his games are better. You know, the map process he went through is better. The stories are better. The complexity in smaller areas is definitely better done. The variety and obtainability of gear is better. And I'm not even being subjective. I could be very objective about it and win any argument that his game is definitely the best out there. Yeah, I just can't get past getting a really cool weapon and then seeing it break 3 swings later. It drives me crazy. And the game felt cheap. Like, you know, you look at the animations on it, they look cheap. The sound effects are cheap. No music feels cheap. You know, the game feels like the walls are made out of paper. You know, it just doesn't feel 3D to me. I don't know. I can see why they never bothered porting the sequel here. It's not really worth anyone's time, in my opinion. I talk about it just out of respect for the designers at From Software, not because I think it's a good game. I'm not that kind of fanboy where I just love everything automatically. Well, they're also, as far as I know, bug-free, which is one of the things I will say is not good about my game. I do have a Sword of Moonlight game out there. It is okay. You know, you might enjoy it if you like Kingsfield. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5. It's worth a playthrough, but it's nothing outstanding. I wanted it to be. It's not from lack of wanting. I knew there was a skeleton falling out there. I just didn't have the skill to tell the story properly, I think. And when I made my game, I'm not trying to make excuses. When I made my game, there was very little known about Sword of Moonlight. It had been translated, and that was about it. So, you know, I created the website, swordofmoonlight.com, to get other people who made games with it to help each other, which it did work. You know, people did get together and help each other, so that's good. But like when I made my game, I had no idea how to do, you know, a lot of the advanced stuff that made some of the other games better down the road. But, you know, I can't use that as a defense because when you look at J.C. Bailey's games, he doesn't use anything or very little that's not part of the basic set, and his stuff is better. So, you know, I will go ahead and say it doesn't take, you know, a bunch of custom stuff to make the game good. It takes good planning and a good understanding of the engine and good story writing. So, you can make diamonds out of horse manure, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not a fan of Sword of Moonlight engine. For anybody who's serious about making video games, I think it's a great hobby engine. J.C. Bailey will want to skin me for saying this, but I would never try to turn anybody on to it that is serious. I used to, but I don't anymore, mainly because it really isn't supported by Windows at all. Wow, is this guy that much stronger? You can't get support for it. Half the people on the forums that are left are assholes. And they'll just try to take you the wrong direction with it. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's too hard to make it work anymore. If you really want to make a retro game, go for it. But there are pluses to Sword of Moonlight. One being that pretty much anyone can use it. You may not be able to make a great game out of it, but you can use it once you get it working on your on your computer. It's fairly easy to use it. So if you think you're creative, then you want to make a game for a hobby only, I would recommend it. If you want to make a game for selling or learn the process of making a game for sale, no, it's not going to help you with that very much. It may inspire you to, you know, to look further down that path, but it's not. Why did I stop? Oh, I gotta get magic. That's why. I was gonna say I didn't finish the pirate stuff. It's okay. I can go finish it right now. If I could think. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Wow, I did it again. Why do I keep getting lost here? Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to get on there and take a look at some of those projects, if that sort of thing interests you, by all means, download it. There are enough decent people left that can help you get it working and, you know, explain some of the nuances of it, but I don't know. There's better engines out there for making a game. For me, anyway. You know, yes, Blind Man, yes. I know this isn't intent. I kind of just take Taffer's Return to Melanat as that. It's a reimagining of King's Field 2 properly. So it's a different story, but you know, he incorporated some of the new areas I put into my game, into his game, so I'm fine with Return to Melanat being the HD remastered version of what I was trying to build. Yeah, if you go on there looking for anything, you have. I'm going, wow. Okay, I need to pay attention. I'm just going all over the place. Pirates key. Todd, pirate key. Let's go to the pirate key area, please. Stop going the wrong way. Yeah, there's a guy on there, Holy Diver. He's been banned, I don't know, more times than I can count. For various reasons, mostly because he's an asshole. The guy does have an actual mental handicap. I've discussed it with him ad nauseum over the years. He has a social issue. He is aware of it. However, one second. Hello? All right. Hopefully that is the last phone call for today. It'd be nice. Yeah, Holy Diver, crazy guy. Gonna try to tell you to use this software, which is fine. Go for it. I don't think there's any problem with it. But Unity's okay. I would say if somebody wants to make a game by themselves, the best option is to go with something like Game Maker. If you want to do a 3D game, that's a completely different story. For 2D or something like that, Game Maker is probably good. Unity is fine for 3D. Just don't expect to be able to do it without programming knowledge. It's not an all-inclusive kit like Sword of Moonlight is. So, which if you're serious about making games, you should probably learn a little bit of that, or get someone who knows that on your team anyhow. Thanks, I don't need to waste time in here. Oops. I forgot you don't need that to get in here. Just open stuff. God, this game runs so slow in here. Yeah, I guess my biggest thing against Sword of Moonlight is out of the, let's see, I'm going to say a dozen people I know who started a game, bugged me about their game. I spent hours and hours helping them with their game, testing their game. 2 people out of probably 10 to 20 actually finished a game. So I don't know if it was too hard for them, or I don't know. Maybe they just weren't serious game makers. But other than you, Mr. Bailey, there's Tom was the only other person. He made his before me. I mean, Ben's never gonna finish. There's no way. Marathia is done. It'll never be done. It's a 10-year-old game, and it still isn't any closer to being done today as it was on day 1. So I've decided it's never gonna be a game. Never gonna be a game. Yeah, I got allergies too. Sorry for the coughing continuously in your face here. I also have them. They're quite scratchy in my throat today. Aww. No, well, not really. I would say you're batting over 50%. For sure. Okay, this room has a lot of secret little thingies in it too for coins and such. So I think it's just on the back 3 walls, but I'm gonna check anyway. Yeah, it's just on this wall. Get a crystal, I think some coins. Should be another one. There we go. Okay, that's it. I don't think there's any on this wall either, but we'll just check. I'm not going to bother going in this room. All it has is bloodstone in it, like an herb. Not worth my time. Just came here for the skull key. Got it now, thank you. Okay. Let's get out of here. Yeah, but that makes sense because you're changing engines. That I can totally understand. That's different from having a game that started out as a 5-map game, then go to a 10-map game, then go to a whatever it is now, a 100-map game is what Morathia is supposed to be. 100 maps, some BS like that. It's just never going to happen. The game is, there's no way. It's a shame. The guy who was building it had done, I guess, what I would consider wonders with the engine. Every asset in the game, to my knowledge, was custom made, which is really cool. Really, really ambitious guy. Good talent. I mean, the stuff fit well with the engine. But he could never satisfy himself. So once he finished a map, quote unquote, finished a map, a month later he'd be telling me, oh, I don't like anything, I'm going to start over. I was like, okay, well, I thought it was great, but okay. There's just no end to it when you constantly second guess yourself to no end. You got to have some goal in mind for things rather than just arbitrarily saying, I don't like it today. Tomorrow I might like it, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Are you talking about Morathia? I thought it was really nice. I actually liked it 2 or 3 iterations ago. I thought it was fine when he started incorporating all the custom enemies and stuff. And then he went and said, oh, you know what, 16 maps isn't enough. I want 100. I was like, what? Okay. What are we talking here? Skyrim? Okay, so now we got the edit key. We're in very good shape. Let's move on. Unlock the rest of the Dragon Fountain and proceed to get Harvine's key, which is the next part of the puzzle. Harvine's key and then Shrine key number 2, and we can finish the game. I'm probably not going to finish it in time. It's 20 to 5. I gotta get off here, get cleaned up from the yard work I did, and get ready for my wife coming home to go out to eat. But we'll see how far we can get. I think this wraps up the things you can buy with or things you can open with this key. Ah, delicious. Yeah, Morathia would have been a great game. Great showpiece for what you can do with customs. Just closer to not being finished than being done, I think, unfortunately. So yeah, my best time is about 10 minutes from the start. Well, I've reset, I guess, a couple times from dying, so the playthrough I'm on, I've probably been playing about an hour. So, still not doing well, but yeah. If I don't count the umpteen resets I had to do from dying. Okay, let's see. Our golden, blah blah blah. Okay. Well, I mean, that was one of the things, Ben was trying to do with his game. His enemies actually had the ability to jump away from you, and dodge, and they kind of acted like a little bit faster intelligence. Like, I'll give you an example. Eternal Ring. I hate to use that game as an example for anything that's good, but in this particular case, it actually had some dynamic movement of the enemies, especially like the first boss, the little werewolf guy, how he could run away from you and then jump back at you real quick. He was able to get some of that into his enemies, which was impressive. Okay, so we got 7 crystal flasks now. That might even be enough to trade to what's-his-face for the whistle. I can't remember how many you need to give him total. While we're here, do I need anything? How much gold? I don't have very much gold. No, probably not. Alright, let's leave. This way. I need to go see my friend. Where was it? Where am I going here? Actually, I guess I'll go back from whence I came. That's the easier way to get there. Yeah, it really would. I'd love to make that too. If only I had a programmer or two and some people that actually were, you know, wanted to make that knew what they were doing. I'd have had one made years ago. Oh well. My game will forever live in vaporware mode. Vaporware. Don't you know? Why did I go over here? Faye's not here. Faye's elsewhere. Okay. Getting that little bit of getting lost thing going on. You go to the small mine, dumbass. Not this way. Okay. Incoming dog barkage in T-3. Oh, they didn't see him. Yes, he is terribly strong. I'm stronger. Oh, shit. I need to give him that first. Okay, I just came here for nothing. Whole lot of nada. Sorry, guys. Been too long since I need to write this shit down so I remember what order I gotta do things in. My bad. Okay, to the central village it is then. Whoa. I'm just gonna open this door up. I'm tired of not having it open. That would be cool if you could. I did enjoy playing those games with you. What the heck games were those? I'm trying to remember. Doom was one of them. Doom wasn't so great, but the other one I liked. I can't think of what it was called now. That's how much I liked it. I can't remember it. Yes. Probably gonna need another rhombus key to get through here. Yeah, Hexen. I think I effed up putting that key in that door back there. Oh well. See what we can do. I don't think I got enough keys to get through here. We'll see. Crazy how strong some of these archers are. Jeez. For some reason I thought there was a rhombus key on the floor in there. I guess I'm wrong. A lamp. That was a lamp. Okay, I think there's one in here though. Ow! That was a hero. It's the elite mob version. I should have gotten a moon crest so I can get some mana regen. Oh well. It's fine. Well, let's see. Crazy. Yeah, I need a silver key for that. Pupe. That's alright. Nothing important in there. I probably have bloodstone or a moonstone or something dumb. Nothing to get excited about, kids. This place tear your pieces, man. There's a key. Thank you. Where are you going? This guy's crazy. Where the hell is he going? Moonwalker. Nice, I could like get some of these arrows he's firing at me. Got Legolas up here. Okay, hero. I like listening to them sound like they're puking. Yeah, Hexen, I thought that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. No, they're not unlockable. Okay, let's continue. Everything needs in here. I should have brought the key. This is where the key's supposed to go for a speed run, by the way. Star key goes here. Because we'll need it in about 10 seconds. It's okay. Okay, I couldn't pick that damn key up. I mean, seriously? These archers are a pain in the ass. Very good at shooting into the direction in which you're heading. Oh, annoying. Okay, gold potion time. Tired of missing. He shoots like Robin Hood in the new movie trailer. Which, by the way, looks fucking awful. I didn't know there was a new Robin Hood. Who's Robin Hood this time? Here's the first free arms you can get in the game. So I mentioned that. These are the silver arms. You cannot get the cheaper ones in the game without buying them. Programmer oversight. Okay, we got everything we can get here, so I gotta use the Stargate to get back. There's no other way to return, which is fine. This time we're taking the key with us, though. We're done with this place being our hometown. Isn't everything terrible anymore? I mean, let's be fair. There's no new intellectual property. It's all based on something else. I gotta go get the Dragon Fountain. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, son of a bitch. Yes, I just did that. It's alright. I'm going a long way. Sounds like your modern day movie where every single person in the world is a black belt ninja, perfect marksman, Superman in every way. When you've got Star Trek, and I like Star Trek, most of them, but I have to draw the line on the newest of the modern series. I like the modern series to a degree, a very small degree. The first movie I thought was really good. I thought they tried to stay, within the boundaries of believability with their canon and everything like that. The second one, I like the guy who plays Sherlock or whatever his name is, Khan. But does he compare to the original Khan? No. I'm sorry, but no one can convince me that the original Khan isn't 1,000 times better than the Khan from the newer series. But the third movie in particular, that one I had a problem with because they threw away the scientific drama aspect of Star Trek. Have I been saying Star Wars? I'm sorry, I meant Star Trek. They threw away the scientificness, the intellectual part of it. The space and astronomy type information matters part of it. And they just replaced it with flares and explosions, and Kirk being able to do super moves with karate and ride a bike. Fly across the planet in a bike. He's the quintessential action star. As is everybody on his crew. No one there is there because they're technically intelligent or anything like that. They're all there because they're super people. Each one of them can kick everybody's ass, especially the females, because a 100-pound woman is definitely going to cause some serious pain when she's fighting a 400-pound morphozoid or whatever that guy's called, the captain that turned into I don't know what he turned into. I didn't even understand the story of that. Why some guy would morph into a different creature by living without his human brethren for a while. The whole story kind of escaped me in that movie. But yeah, the little white painted girl or whatever she was supposed to be, riding around kicking everyone's ass. I get tired of seeing it. I get tired of the Mary Sue in every movie, and it goes for men too. I get tired of everyone being I can do everything type character. It's really boring to me. To watch Kirk get up there and ride a motorcycle like he's the best stuntman of all time, and do Mortal Kombat with something like Goro and win. It doesn't make any sense. He's a captain of a starship. He's an officer. Yeah, he would have some combat training. Would he be able to take down a 400-pound gorilla man? No, probably not. Back in the day when they had the Next Generation, when someone got in the ring with Worf, they got their ass kicked. Because that was his thing. Or when someone messed with Spock or Data, they didn't have a chance because Data was a freaking android. And he was very, very strong. Against a regular person, they had no chance against him. But they just do away with all that. They're like, yeah, you know what, who cares? It's fine. Captain Kirk can single-handedly take down as many Klingons as he wants to. They're not war people. They're weak compared to him. Oh, you're gonna knock me off, aren't you? Nope. Oh, that was close. So close. No, you will not hit me with that. I should not have come this way. There's no need to come this way. Let's got myself in trouble. It's pretty good. Like, I went and saw Black Panther last night. I was not excited about it for multiple reasons. Number one, I don't know jack shit about Black Panther. Number two, I figured it would be similar to most of the action movies of today. Not have much of a story. I wasn't really disappointed with the movie. I didn't think it was all that great. I just died. I haven't saved in forever. Oh, Dragon Crystal. Okay, good. Look, I have no problem with anybody who enjoyed the newest movie. I'm going to be quick here anyway, but I'm just saying, for me, when I go back and I watch, like, First Contact or, Wrath of Khan, the original one, there was some vulnerability to humans that just isn't present in the new movies. They're amazing. Like, every single one of them. Sulu in the first new movie, when they're parachuting out of that thing and there's enemies on that, whatever the hell structure is, they're paragliding to. First of all, nobody's afraid to parachute out of a starship that's flying at like 1 billion miles an hour. I don't believe that. People aren't that immune to fear. I don't buy that the human can be in so many encounters that they no longer fear anything that normal people would fear. So yeah, jumping out of there, just being a routine thing, no, that's ridiculous. Landing on it and then having the Sulu guy, who's like your navigator and specialist, also be like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I hate it. Cornhusker. It's obviously the first game in the series. If you're going to play it, my personal recommendation is to play the Sword of Moonlight one, because number one, I think I'll have to go back and check it. The one, if you play the one I uploaded, I think I enabled the run button, which is probably my single most biggest problem with the Japanese original PS1 game, is you can't run. So you're stuck walking the whole game. It really drives me nuts when you're stuck at a walk. Number two, I fixed some bugs that were in the basic Sword of Moonlight game, so there are some things that don't work right. So try to get the one off the Sword of Moonlight one. I think I made running a thing, and I balanced the game more so you don't have to grind. The other problem I have with the original Japanese game translation, and this is nothing against the translator, he's a heck of a guy. I can't understand his translation. When I read it, he is so literal with his translations that it's like reading a Google Translate of the Japanese. It just seems very odd to me when you read it. I have a hard time following what he's trying to say. When I translated the Sword of Moonlight one, I tried to make it more like common English rather than Old English. So when someone talks to you, they're talking to you, not saying thee, thou, thy, that kind of weird stuff. And also, the other problem I have with it, the original one, is I can't understand who the hell is who. They refer to about 10 different kings throughout the game with different numbers. They all have the same, almost exact same last name. Very hard to understand what the hell's going on. It's worth a playthrough. It's about a 5 to 6 hour game, especially if you're using a map, which is you can get. I think, well, maybe not. I don't know if that one's still available online anymore or not. But it's not a hard game. It's not. I wouldn't call it linear. You do backtrack across the 5 levels of the game several times. At the end of Kingsfield 3, 2 US, whatever you want to call it, the graveyard area where you go get the Sword of Moonlight fixed, where you go meet the Milia or whatever her name is, Gyra's little fairy lady, although she looked like a pile of garbage in the cutscene, but that graveyard area is like 2 or 3 of the levels condensed of the first game. So it's just like 5 levels that are basically a square. It's an okay game. Some of the music is annoying, I think. It'll kind of grate on you after about 10 or 15 minutes of hearing it. It's really repetitive. And the no run button is a really big problem for me playing the PS1 version. But other than that, it's better than Shadow Tower, in my opinion. I mean, that's not saying much, but I think if you started it, you could probably beat it without getting too bored. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with old English. I'm not an English person. It has its place in medieval movies and all that, but I don't feel a need to go that literal with a translation. Mine was pretty English, like Shadow Tower Abyss. I don't know. I don't remember who translated that. I think it was someone on the boards who did it. I forget his name. The guy who translated Kingsfield 1 and Sword of Moonlight took issue with his translation because he was looser with it. But when I play it, it's fine by me. I don't mind reading it like I would read a normal modern day piece of information. You know what I mean? Here's my thing about Souls and Bloodborne. I like the intellectual property that surrounds Dark Souls better because I like medieval more than I like Witch Hunter. I like the armor sets, the swords, the shields. I like the look and feel of that stuff better than Bloodborne. But for me, Bloodborne as an engine, I really love how easy it is to control the Bloodborne character. Um, I think the game engine itself, as far as the player is concerned, is superior in Bloodborne, especially over Dark Souls 2 and 3. 2 is probably the worst player engine, unfortunately. I think they've made it worse with patching. Like, I enjoyed Dark Souls 2 on my first playthrough, and then they nerfed magic in 2 ways. They made it weak, which was lame, and they also reduced the range at which you could target an enemy. They kept that for Dark Souls 3, unfortunately, where they don't allow you to have your staff and target a character with like Soul Spear or whatever from more than like 10 or 15 feet away. I hate that about both those games. I think a magician should be able to use their spell from very far away if they want to. I don't see any problem with that. They're easy enough to dodge anyway. And enemies can easily cover the distance, but that's just my opinion. I think the engine of Bloodborne is superior. I think the game world idea of the game world of Dark Souls is better, especially Dark Souls 1, and I'm excited about the remaster coming out on that. On Bloodborne, I think they did a really nice job making the world be non-linear. But the Lovecraft, amygdala stuff is not really my cup of tea at the end of the day. So I love Thief. Thief 3 is my favorite. It's the first one I played, so that's probably why. I have gone through Thief 2 now. I did finish that game. That was really good. Long game. Oh my god, long game. Thief 1, I had trouble playing it because I played it on its original engine. I'm trying to think about that now. Is that the one where you could upgrade it to the Thief 2 engine? I played it the first time on its own engine. I didn't care for it. I think I played it again with the Thief 2 engine. Does that make sense? And I think I enjoyed it a lot more. Thief for the modern system, meaning PS4 and Steam and all that, the new one, hated it. I tried to beat it, and it's not a long game. I got sick of it probably 3 times in a row. First PS4 game I bought the system for that game. I would not recommend it to anybody. It's kind of crap. Hi, Old World Gamer. Sorry I didn't see you on there. I missed your pop in. I'm just getting ready to end. My wife is on her way home. I need to get cleaned up for dinner. But I got about 60% of the way through this game. Took me probably an hour and a half, which is not good. Not good at all. I should be almost at the end of the game by an hour and a half. I would have recommended, if you're going to play it, what the hell's that game called? It's the one with the goblin. Unfortunately, I got the sequel and not the original game. Hate it. Do not buy it. What the hell is it called? Let me check my Steam list here. Oh, no, it's not on Steam. I have it on PS4. 1 second. Yeah, Styx. Styx. I mean, I've heard the first game is good. It's got good reviews. I've never played the first game. Unfortunately, I got gifted the second game because it was on my wish list. Oh my god, what a piece of shit that game is. It's the controls and the AI are so bad. It's not even. It's completely unfun. Like, I like stealth games a lot. But Styx 2 ruined stealth because the AI is ridiculous. Meaning, if you make a sound, they will search for half an hour for that sound. And they will search under tables. They will find you no matter what you do to hide. You can hide yourself in a barrel and put like the top on it. They'll open the barrel and find you. So if you make a sound, you're basically going to have to reset to your last save point. So you either are perfect or you die. And there's no way to fight back either. So if you aggro an enemy, all of a sudden there's 50 on top of you, and they will kill you. Because if they get in range of you, they just do an auto grab. And while you're in the grab trying to break free, they all just stab you to death. There's nothing you can do. It's totally broken. So if you can't be perfect, you can't play that game. Totally ruined it. I don't know how the first one is, but the second one, don't even bother renting it. It's that bad. I felt bad. I played it a long time to try to get something out of it since someone spent money on it for me. Whew. But no. I would challenge. I wish. You know what? I might mail you this game, Mr. Bailey. If you'll play it, I'll mail it to you. I want to see what you think of it. Because if I suck that bad at stealth games, which is very possible, then I need to just never play one again. Like, I was able to perfect pretty much all the Tenshus, no problem. I had no problem perfecting almost every stage in Thief 1, 2, and 3, and 4. But Styx 2 drove me insane. Completely unfun. Anyways, guys, here comes my wife down the driveway. So I better go get washed up. And I appreciate you guys stopping in and talking to me while I was playing this game. Got my ass kicked pretty hardcore today by Kingsfield, which is pretty sad. But again, thanks for watching. So I'll probably start over, to be perfectly honest. I did so poorly in this one with my route and everything that I don't even want to finish it. So I'll start over next stream, and we'll try to get like an hour and a half will be the goal for finishing it. So I'll see you guys later. I'll probably see you tonight if you stream Blind Man. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.